Hi everybody, this is Nate. You're watching WASD 20, and today we're going to be leveling up a character for D&D 5th edition. So this is a character I made last time, and actually I made a new character sheet here because the other one was getting a little messy. Yeah, this is a character I made in my first character creation video, which I will put the link to down here. So this is a dwarf fighter, and his name is Nathanias Rockfist. Last time I used the D&D basic rules to create this character, which is really great. This is a free PDF, and I think it's great. It's totally useful and good for beginners who maybe aren't into the idea of buying the Players Handbook yet. But since that time, I have got the Players Handbook. Woohoo! So, yeah, pretty excited about that. I've been reading through it and really enjoying it. So, we're going to be bringing this character actually up to level 3 to show how we would level up twice. We could go further pretty easily, but for now we'll make him a level 3 character. And I'll also be talking a little about how you might level up other characters too, not just a fighter. We'll take a look at some others. So, one of the first places I'm going to start is in the Players Handbook on page 15. There's a little section down here called Beyond First Level. Sorry about the glare there, but yeah, this basically will take you through the process of how you would level up your character. You might ask, well, when do you level up your character? Basically, when your Dungeon Master tells you, or if you want to follow the experience here, the experience points are listed there for each level. So as you gain experience, you will obviously be leveling up. So this tells us basically that one of the first places to start is with your hit die. For me, as a fighter, it's different for every class, but for a fighter, it is 1d10, so that's what I've got here, and that's what I'm going to be using to level up my hit points. I haven't written my current hit points in yet because I'm going to be calculating that now. Before, I had 14 hit points, and now what I'm going to be doing is, and you do this with every class, you roll your hit die plus your constitution bonus. Mine happens to be +4. Yes, I know these are insanely high attribute scores there, but or ability scores. I honestly did roll for them. You can check in my previous video. Yeah, pretty amazingly high. But anyway, so we're going to be rolling this and adding our Constitution bonus, and we're going to be doing that twice because we're leveling up to level 3. So first one, 10. Not bad. Okay, this is a 0 on the 10-sided die is actually 10. So we would add plus 14. That would bring us to level 2. And then plus 1 plus my constitution bonus of 4 plus 5. So I got a 1 and a 10. Alright, that makes for a total of, use a pen, it's easier to see, 28 plus 5, 33. Okay, so I have 33 hit points now, and I'm going to be writing that in my hit point maximum here. 33. All right. And now we're going to, for the rest of the info, we're going to go over to the page for fighter. And this is also true of the basic rules. There's a chart like this, and that's going to be our basic, what we need in order to level our character up. No matter what class you are, there's going to be a chart. And it's both true in the Player's Handbook as well as the basic rules, this kind of chart. So here's one for cleric. We'll be using the one for fighter. Alright, you see some information down here. One thing that I could have done in figuring out my hit points is I could have just added 6 plus my constitution modifier. And so sometimes that, if you want to get the higher number, that's actually, the odds are in your favor if you just take theirs. But I like to roll for it. Okay, so that's what I did. Now we are going to turn to the chart and figure out some other things that we get to take. So at first level, I got a fighting style, and I got second wind. And those abilities were described, and I went over them in the last video. At second level, I also get action surge. So what I'm going to do is read a little about that here. For action surge, it says, starting at second level, you can push yourself beyond your normal limits for a moment. On your turn, you can take one additional action on top of your regular action and a possible bonus action. Once you use this feature, you must finish a short or long rest before you can use it again. Starting at 17th level, you can use it twice before a rest, but only once on the same turn. All right, so that's what Action Surge is, and I'm just going to make a note of that here, that Action Surge, and in case I forget what it is, I'm going to put the page number, page 72. Next, let's go back to our chart. So that was if I was making a level 2 character. I would have my 28 hit points, and I would get to take Action Surge, and that would be it. At 3rd level, I get Marshal Archetype, and these are pretty cool. So this is where you start to kind of specialize your fighter and make your fighter a little more unique. So Marshal Archetypes, there's 3 in the Player's Handbook here. There was only 1 in the basic rules. Champion, Battle Master, and Eldritch Knight. Champion is the version of the fighter that's kind of the most classic, just straight up fighter. Battle Master is going to have also, more traditional fighter, but it also kind of talks about how the Battle Master combat is an academic field, sometimes including subjects beyond battle, such as weaponsmithing and calligraphy, etc. And so you do get some interesting options there. And the Battle Master, if you like crunch, the Battle Master has lots of little rules and exceptions in these maneuvers. When I look at these, I see things maybe I just don't want to worry about them, especially as I'm kind of new to the game. I don't want to worry about all these little circumstances and abilities that I could use. I'd rather take something a little more straightforward. The Eldritch Knight is the last one here, and this is our fighter that specializes also in magic. And so the Eldritch Knight begins to earn spells. For me, I'm going to take that just straight up classic fighter, kind of keep it simple, and so I'm going to go with the Champion archetype. If I read here, beginning when you choose this archetype at 3rd level, your weapon attack scores a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20. And that's the only thing I'm going to be able to get right now. You notice the next thing doesn't start till 7th level. And then there's one at 10th, one at 15th, and one at 18th. So for now, I just get to take that 1/3 level thing, and that is critical hit on 19 or 20. And previously, I only got to roll a critical hit when I rolled a 20. So now it's also 19. So that's pretty cool. I've doubled my chances of being able to crit. For my fighter, that's pretty much it. Some of the other things on the chart you notice, at some times you'll be able to take an improved ability score. And so that would mean actually adding a point to one of these. I don't think any of them can get above 20 if I'm remembering correctly. A few other extra abilities and skills. So yeah, there's some pretty cool stuff that you can get at the higher levels, and some of them are just repeats, like you get to use Second Wind more often, or Action Surge more often, or things like that. One thing to make a note of, for the ability score improvement, there's an optional rule that instead of improving one of your ability scores, you can take a feat. And that's something I think a lot of players are going to want to do, because the feats are kind of, further ways that you can make your character more unique, have some special ability. But that's kind of up to your GM if they want to allow players to do that. I'm just going to briefly take a look here at the Wizard as well, just to get a feel for how you might level up characters in another class. And in this case, the Wizard is pretty different. The Wizard is a caster class. So you notice the chart for these is going to be a little more complex. So for a Wizard at 1st level, you get these things. At 2nd level, you get to take on Arcane Tradition, which is kind of like, a school of magic, if you will, and kind of similar to our archetype for Fighter. So there are, I think, 7 or 8 different schools of magic that you can choose from to kind of begin to specialize what sorts of spells you will be good at. And then they tell you the rest of this chart here, how many spells of each level you will be taking. Beware that it is not the case that at 2nd level you get 2nd level spells, or at 3rd level you don't get any 3rd level spells. Alright, so the player level is not the same thing as the spell level. So there's something to be aware of. One thing, the proficiency bonus, you notice does not go up for the Wizard until level 5. to +3. So proficiency bonus right here. That's the number you get to add to some of your skills here, as well as any attacks with weapons you are proficient in, etc. So proficiency bonus does not go up, and I think that's the case for other classes too. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's the same for every class, actually, that the proficiency bonus goes up at the same levels. But not till level 5, I don't think, for any of the classes. Alright, so that's how you level up a character. It's not that hard. It's kind of fun. You get to make your character more powerful. I will soon be making more videos on building other classes as well and just doing some more character creation videos. So if you have any questions about this process or about the game in general, I welcome them. Just leave them in the comments below. Any other comments are welcome, of course, too. So thank you very much for watching. Everybody take care. Happy gaming.